Oh, yeah. Five-star. LSU. I said, they ain't ready for the LSU. No, they ain't ready for the LSU, huh? They ain't ready for the LSU.
CA, we are live.
We the best in the league if you're looking for talent. LSU going hard, but we beat Alabama and we going off to Florida. Drown the Gators, everybody getting bucked when we step in the stadium. This the LSU anthem, you know it's a hit. You don't know another rapper two-step like this. See me screaming out the window, yelling purple and gold. I'm an LSU fan, girl, you know how we roll now. Back and back it on up. Hey,
Y'all hear me now?
back and back it on up.
And
Hey,
over there,
back and back it on up. Hey, back and back it on up. Hey.
Stadium, and hopefully here shortly we'll be going in here in about 30 minutes or so. But great time to be at the ballpark. Weather is fantastic right now. Not too hot, clear skies, so definitely not going to be dealing with any rain of any kind. And I think we are here with my dad and the youngest brother, Simon. Reagan is in here also. He's right now taking care of daddy duty, taking care of Zeke and Luca as McKenna is away, and she is working right now. So he's going to be joining us here in just a little bit to help preview the matchup versus Arkansas. But just wanted to give y'all a view. As y'all can tell down there, let's see, right down there is the stadium. And right over here is the Finley Complex, where they have a lot of different games and activities for all the families and kids. But look, yesterday was a blast. Yesterday, you really needed a good outing from one of the bullpen guys. We knew Skenes was going to go on Thursday today, and then you hope to see Ty Floyd go on Friday. So big outing from Thatcher Hurd. It was extremely needed, and in a really good spot too, because that's a guy that LSU heavily relied on to come in and be a starter pretty much for the majority of the season. And unfortunately, you didn't get that. But in the biggest moment when you needed it here in the postseason, steps up, goes over 100 pitches, pitched 5 and I think a 1/3. Got in some trouble late, just kind of lost it there in the 6th inning, but was able to put up a bunch of zeros and fortunately was able to get out of the game, only allowing one run. Nate Ackenhausen came in and shut the door. Got a strikeout. A lot of people said it was a makeup call from the missed call that's when Sammy Dutton came in. Sammy Dutton came in, of course, gave up the walk and allowed a run. But a lot of people say that Nate Ackenhausen got the makeup call the next batter because Sammy didn't get the pitches called that were strikes. Nevertheless, they get out of the inning, and LSU is able to really cruise from there. That was the biggest part of the game where things got a little nerve-wracking. But Hurd gave you a phenomenal outing. Ackenhausen gave you a phenomenal outing. And those are two guys that we needed to step up. Those are two guys that LSU's really been relying on heavily, especially here in this postseason, and they're going to continue to rely on them heavily here in the postseason. So I was really excited to get to see both of those guys have really clutch performances in a must-win situation, because LSU is in a situation right now where they can't really afford to go as many games as they would have to go if they take a loss. You're hoping with today, with Skenes going, that you can get a great outing from him, which is expected. And if you win today, then you're setting up really, really well for tomorrow and to potentially make it into Championship Sunday. You'll be off tomorrow if you win today, and then Ty would pitch on Saturday. And if you're able to win that game, then you go to the championship game Sunday. So the pitching was phenomenal yesterday, and the hitting was as well. A lot of people talked about the ballpark because it is a long ballpark. It plays long. It is long, and there, especially the first night, we didn't see really hardly any home runs get out of the ballpark. But fortunately for LSU was able to find a way to manufacture runs. They were able to get those clutch singles when you had guys in scoring position. Think about Hayden Travinsky. Think about Josh Pearson. Guys like that that stepped up. Guys that have not had massive roles in the lineup until late here in the postseason. And here later in the postseason, they've stepped up and they've been able to deliver for you. That was the big question coming here to Hoover, is would LSU be able to survive, because they have mostly relied on the home run ball pretty much the entire season. And here in the Hoover Met, they were able to manufacture runs in different ways. Obviously, Joe Barra had the big 2-run bomb to start off the game in the second inning. But after that, you didn't see another home runs from LSU. They were able to get the job done. They were able to move guys over. How many times have we complained and argued about not being able to sacrifice and get guys over whenever they had guys in running and scoring position? And yet they did that yesterday. It was a phenomenal job by Thatcher Hurd, phenomenal job by Nate Ackenhausen, and a phenomenal job by the hitters to be able to manufacture runs in ways that they haven't before. Look, that's what excited me the most about yesterday's game is LSU was able to win, and they were able to win in a different fashion than they have for most of the season. Really excited about today, this afternoon. Reagan wasn't a long trip. We only had about 4 hours to get here from Memphis, pretty much all interstate. And so really excited. We're here celebrating Dad's birthday and just kind of kick it off. We've never been to Hoover, so this is the first time ever being to Hoover. So this is definitely checking off a bucket list item for all of us. Reagan, I'm going to see. Are you ready to join, Reagan? I'm trying to get you in here. You may not be ready. Let me see, guys. Y'all give me a brief moment. I am operating from my phone here, so trying to see if Reagan will be able to join us to kind of preview this game. He says Luka is losing it now, so I'm going to guess that is a no. Let's get to some comments. Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay, Reagan's in here. What's up, bro?
I think I've settled him briefly. I'm definitely informal here, or informal.
Oh, good. You want to get comments briefly before we start previewing this?
Yeah, sure. Let's get to go ahead and get to some comments.
So, Robert, if you don't mind popping up for us, Reagan. Robert said, let's get the party started. It's a party up in here for sure. There is LSU fans all over the place. LSU definitely outnumbers all the other schools here. LSU fans all over the place. Maybe that's just because of the game time right now. But they are definitely, we're definitely the most fan base here, the biggest fan base here. And I will say, Reagan, dude, finding a parking spot was brutal. We had to go like way over to the soccer complex. We were about to walk like a long way, and thankfully, from the act of God, a golf cart came by and was like, "Hey, do y'all want to ride over?" And we're like, yeah. They're like, yes. It would have been like a 30-minute walk. Anyways, we're hitting that. Leslie Dupree's in here. She said, "Bringing the heat from Hoover for sure." I'm interested to see how the weather is going to feel today because it's a little hot. We did find out that from some other LSU fans that have been here multiple times, they said that our seats were going to be in the sun. So looking forward to that. Probably going to have a sunburn by the end of the game. Robert's in here, though. He said we need to win and get a day off and back at it Saturday. Yeah, I mean, getting a win today would be massive for LSU, especially considering the struggles that you've had in the bullpen. Limit as many games as you can play here. So if you're able to just keep winning, you're going to save your arms, and you're going to really set yourself up well to potentially play on Championship Sunday. Ryan's in here. He said, "What's up, TA and everyone?" Lineup this is interesting. Robert said the lineup is just announced. Beloso is out. Okay, Robert, if you don't mind, I'm operating from my phone right now, so I will not be able to look at that. Can you send us the lineup in the comments? That would be great. That is very interesting. Who would be replacing him? I'm very interested to see the lineup. So, Robert, if you don't mind, go ahead and send us the lineup in here. I am live from the phone, so unable to operate and look at Twitter and look at the lineup released. So y'all do me a favor, release that. Look, Reagan, when you can get in here, join in. I know you're dealing with Luka right now as he started crying there at the end, but that's okay. Really looking forward to today because you're going to see two of the best pitchers in the country go at one another. Paul Skenes, obviously, hashtag Paul Skenes, hashtag Shove Day. Really excited about this matchup. It's going to be a very interesting matchup because, I'm not really expecting a lot of runs. I'm expecting to see a very low-scoring game, and then maybe later on in the 5th, 6th, 7th inning, we see some runs manufactured once teams are both able to get into the bullpen. I expect LSU to probably pitch Skenes for 5 or 7 innings. That's what we've been hearing from a lot of different people, that they weren't going to send him out here like it wasn't going to be a normal start for Paul Skenes. He's not going to go his normal 100 pitches. He's probably going to be pitching 50 to 75 pitches. I would expect the same from Hagen Smith at Arkansas. Wouldn't expect him to go long, and mainly because they're trying to set up for regional play. As awesome it is here in Hoover, and as much as you want to win the SEC tournament, you have to think about the regionals and postseason as way more important, and that they are. Okay, Robert sent us the lineup: Cruz, Pearson, Tanks, Hayden, Morgan, Thompson, Jobert, Dugas, and Milazzo. So looks like Milazzo is going to be catching for Ski, and that's honestly why, because Milazzo has been Skenes' catcher, so he gets in at the catcher position. Milazzo does, and Travinsky will DH with Trey at first. I'm totally fine with that. Milazzo's had a pretty good year, and Beloso has been. Obviously he was hot there to start the beginning of SEC play. He's kind of leveled off here recently in the last couple of weeks, especially the last 3 weeks, and it looks like Arkansas is pulling into the building. I'm assuming this is the Arkansas team here that is pulling into the building right now. As you can see, the buses are passing by. I believe that is the Arkansas baseball team. They just got escorted in. Yep. So it looks like the Arkansas team has arrived here to the Hoover Met. They are getting escorted in, and as they get ready to prepare for game 2 here on day 3 of the SEC tournament. All right, let's see some other comments here. Peggy said Milazzo catching, so Hayden. Travinsky is at DH. Yep, sounds good. Reagan said scoring game, need a catcher like Milazzo in for defense. Yeah, low scoring game. You need a defensive catcher, and I completely understand that. And I would imagine you might see Beloso in later on in the game. You might see him, come in and pinch hit if he gets into a situation where you want a matchup, a righty-lefty matchup. Jay has been known to do that, so very likely we could see him later on in the game, especially once they get maybe later on in the later innings and the starting pitch, especially when Paul Skenes goes out. I would probably potentially expect to see Beloso come in the game. If he is going to come into the game, it's going to be whenever Paul Skenes is out of the game, because Milazzo has been Skenes' catcher for pretty much all of this year. Robert said been struggling against lefties too. I guess he's talking about Beloso. Yeah, Beloso's been on a little bit of a skid here recently, but I mean, the dude's still hitting above 300, so I don't really know how much of a skid you want to call that. But I'm going to be interested to see how Milazzo performs today. He's been out of the lineup just for a little bit, not a long time, but just for a little bit. He's been out of the lineup, so it's going to be interesting to see how he does today from being off for a little while. But he's been fine, and like I said, with the way that Beloso has been playing here recently, I'm okay with it because Milazzo's been hitting well too. So you're not really having like this massive drop off with replacing Milazzo over Beloso. And I know probably a lot of our viewers are like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe Zach just said that," because I was the one really trying to get Beloso more ABs earlier on in the year. And I was the one that was ringing that bell to bring him in and to keep him in the lineup. And they did do that. But here recently, been in a little bit of a slump. He hasn't been as hot as he was. So I'm totally okay with that. And as Reagan said, Reagan made a very good point. It's going to be a low-scoring game. It's going to be a more defensive game. And that's probably another reason. Obviously, Milazzo has caught for Skenes for most of the year. So you want to have his catcher in there. But also because this is going to be more of a low-scoring game, and runs are going to be at a premium, or not at a premium, I should say. And so you're going to want somebody back there that can play great defense. Not that Hayden Travinsky hasn't been that great, but Milazzo is obviously your best option there on defense. Now, if we win today, what's exciting is we get to have a day off, which I think would be very, very good for LSU. Get some rest, get all of the other bullpen guys an extra day of rest. Those, like Nate, I would assume that Ackenhausen is done for the weekend. But any potential players that you have, bullpen guys that you have pitched today, I would expect, them to appreciate that extra day of rest for sure. Because are we back? Sorry, guys. They were trying. My little brother was trying to call me. Again, I'm operating completely off my phone here, so a little unorthodox, but we appreciate all of you joining. So if you win today, you're off tomorrow. and you'll be back on Saturday. If you lose, you're going to be playing tomorrow at 3 p.m. against Texas A&M. Texas A&M did win game 1 today over South Carolina. 5-0 was the final. I got to be honest, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Texas A&M staying in the tournament. I think that'd be a good matchup for us. Texas A&M has really not seen that LSU saw earlier on in the season in the first SEC series. They've kind of taken they haven't been as good. I should say that they've been good, but they haven't been as good as they were at the beginning of the season, and taking a little bit of a dip. So I'm totally fine with facing Texas A&M. I think South Carolina has a more dangerous lineup overall. But if we are to lose today, then that would be the matchup: LSU versus Texas A&M at 3:00 tomorrow. Hopefully, obviously, don't want to lose, but if that is the case, we will see. All right, Peyton's in here. Let's see. Robert's in here. Let's see. Robert said, now my opinion, the lineup now is the best lineup they have. Okay, so you believe Milazzo over Beloso is the better option. Okay, interesting. Robert, I don't wholeheartedly disagree, but I do believe that Beloso is a little bit better bat in the lineup. But listen, Milazzo's been hitting it well. Let's see how he does today. His last outing, not so great. I think he was 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 in his last outing. We'll see how he hits today. I would assume he's at the bottom of the lineup. Let me go back to look at Robert's lineup that he sent. Yeah, Milazzo's at the bottom. Okay, as expected. All right, Peyton. Can't bring Beloso in unless he replaces Hagen at DH or Jones goes to catcher. No, you can bring Beloso in to DH, and then you could shift Travinsky from DH to catcher. Unless I'm thinking, maybe I'm wrong on that. I could be wrong on that, but I would imagine you would stay the same. They would stay at the same spots in the lineup, but Hayden would just go to catcher instead of DHing. Robert said, I'm talking about Hayden for Cade right now. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, Robert. If you're talking about that, I mean, I would probably prefer Cade Beloso in over Milazzo. That's how I'm looking at it. Because if Cade Beloso, because you already have Hayden. You had Hayden in the lineup with Cade Beloso yesterday. So really, what this is Beloso, Milazzo over Beloso. That's really what's happening here. And again, the main reason is because he's catching for Paul. Let's see. Peyton said he DH can't go to a position. Is that the if so, I have just learned something new in baseball. If that is the case, I did not know that DH cannot go a position. Is that true? Anyways, all right, guys. Enjoying it here. Reagan, are you still with us? Are you able to join us at all? If you are not able to join us, just send me a text message. Let me know. I think Simon and them are still trying to find me. But we're here. We got about 40 minutes here until first pitch. I'd imagine we're about to start making our way towards the stadium.
All right.
Wait. Okay, Reagan. That good. I just had to ramble on for like 20 minutes without you, and with my phone and with a bunch of people standing around looking at me like, what the heck's going on with this guy?
Yeah, sorry. Luca finally settled down and was willing to hold his pacifier. As you can tell, I'm at the house.
Right.
And
that's good. I'm sure you're grateful for that.
yes.
Reagan, give us. I just rambled on for a long time there, but Reagan, we've got some time before we have to start making our way into the stadium, which, as you can see, is behind me there. This is like kind of a hangout area, Reagan. A lot of the families and kids are going in here, hanging out, doing rock climbing, and all kinds of different games and stuff like that. Pretty cool for the families to get to check out and be around. But Reagan, why don't you go ahead and give us a take on this game?
My take on this game, man, I don't know. Yesterday's energy about the team seemed like it was a little different. Like they were really energized. They were really honed in every at bat, and that's what led to some of those clutch hits, 2-out RBI hits, because they were just so dialed in. And I feel like they finally gotten themselves out of this funk that they seemed like they were in for the last 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I am really excited to see what they can do against, one of the best in the SEC and Hagen Smith. Game 1 against Arkansas, Hagen Smith really clamped you. In and I mean, he came in and shut LSU down and gave Arkansas the opportunity to take the lead in extra innings and ultimately win the game. So I'm really excited to see how our lineup can do against him, and how they handle him, seeing as they've played against him already. Um, I think this is a great game in terms of like the regional and super regional play, because that's kind of what this game is. This is an Omaha super regional caliber game. Arkansas, LSU, Paul Skenes, and Hagen Smith. It's best on best. Oh boy. Oh boy.
So for all of our Tigers Avenue fans that have not gotten to meet Simon and Dad, well, they have met Dad. He just wasn't Dad. He was by your birthday.
I have never been on your live feed.
Never. You have. That's a lie.
Never. I mean, they probably met
This
me
is
before.
Simon. This is our youngest sibling. Y'all need to hype Simon up a little bit, TA fans, because Simon's not really a big LSU fan. He is mainly, as we like to call it, cash. He's a casual. He's not a diehard like the rest of us Lee boys.
He's an obvious fan.
He likes video games.
Shut up, Reagan.
He likes video games more than LSU. But that's okay. That's his thing. That's Simon. You're here with us at the Met. I would personally actually prefer Reagan to be here over you, but unfortunately, this is
wow, that's brutal.
I mean, you were so emotionally attached to Reagan that you were struggling when you left for college. So
that's correct.
Obviously, you would prefer
Reagan's my boy. Simon, obviously don't watch a lot of baseball, but I want to get your take here quickly. First time being
football
at
and
the Met.
basketball would be better.
There you go. That answers the question right there.
Oh, my personal take of the Met? You want my prediction or what?
Yeah, why don't you give us a prediction, Simon?
Versus Arkansas. Let's see. I think it's going to be kind of close. So I would say
kind of close.
5-3.
5-3 who?
Us. Obviously, it's going to be us. Unless we're playing like Vanderbilt.
He said obviously it's going to be us.
5-3. Solid pick. Solid pick. I mean, that's a really solid pick, I think.
I'm always going to say that we're going to win.
Pick.
I'm always going to say that we're going to win unless if we're playing Vandy.
Reagan,
he's not as good as Arkansas. So
Reagan, you've been hearing a lot about this pitch count situation with Paul Skenes. Do you think that's the route they go? Do you think they only throw him 50 to 75 pitches, or do you think this is going to be a normal outing for Skenes?
I definitely don't think it's going to be a normal outing. I think it's going to be a shortened outing. I think it gives
you would agree. You believe this is going to be a shortened outing for Skenes?
Yeah, there's no reason whatsoever to extend him 116 pitches in this game, because it just is not worth that. If you lose this game, you're still a 4 seed, and you're projected to be a 4 seed right now. So it's just not worth trying to burn him or risk an injury. So I fully expect this to be like a 60 to 70 pitch outing, and for him to be done probably, I think at the most he goes 5. I think he's done at 5 if he's really efficient and he's moving the game along really well, maybe 6. But I think that's the absolute most.
Okay, we are here for Dad's birthday. It's not today, so y'all can wish him a happy birthday in a later episode. It'll be on what is it, Dad? Next week. Yep, it'll be next Friday. Is that correct?
Oh, Saturday.
Or no, it's a week from today. No, what's
Saturday,
today? Oh, today's the 25th. Good grief! I thought today was the 23rd. I'm so behind on my days. So we are here for this man right here.
Who's not paying attention?
The reason that Tigers Avenue exists, the reason we are LSU fans, the man from Del High himself, Mr. Assa Anders Lee. I don't know what he's doing here. He's got the bucket hat on, Reagan. That's a TA staple. But here's the issue. He's got red and black glasses. I think maybe it's a little bit of a reverse psychology.
Reverse.
Absolutely.
Don't you miss?
So,
Disgrace.
Pastor Lee, Pastor Anders, you want to give us a prediction here for this game, as you have now checked off a bucket list item and coming to the Hoover Met?
To me, this is going to be a butt kicking. There's
Wow.
going to be a lot of pain and suffering. And it's going to be a 9-2 LSU win.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Oh wow. I don't.
That is
That's a little overstated.
Hey, I'm fine with it. I'm good with the prediction. I would love it.
He's not far off. We beat that's what we did in game 2 and game 3.
Beat them pretty bad. Beat them pretty bad.
We unrolled them.
We beat them pretty bad. Now they're kind of mad. Oh, that rhymed.
Okay.
I didn't even mean that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
So Reagan, what do you make? I mean, obviously the reason is because Skenes is pitching, but what do you make of the change, Milazzo coming in for Beloso? Because that's really what the switch is there.
I hope it's not a
Well, the reality is Beloso does really well against right-handed pitchers, and he has struggled against lefties, and this is the best lefty you're going to face all season again. And so Jay Johnson loves the righty-lefty matchup. That is like he always does. If you look at the lineup yesterday, it was right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Like he loves the right-hand, left-handed matchup play, and so he's going to put more right-handed bats in the lineup, and that's exactly what he's doing because Hagen Smith is pitching, and so I don't know. Later on, if they pull him, you may see him change the lineup a little bit if it's a right-handed pitcher that comes in. But the reason that he's getting the start is because Hagen Smith is pitching, and I think that's all it simply is.
Yeah, we kind of got ahead.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that, and you make a good point there with the that K. Beloso has been struggling with the lefties, and obviously Hagen Smith being the best lefty you're going to see probably. Maybe when you get in the postseason, face a better lefty, but Hagen is probably Hagen might be the best lefty in the country. So it's going to be a very difficult match for LSU.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Reagan, we are into the game. So if you don't mind wrapping this up for us as we walk to the stadium to get in and take our seats. I'm excited, Reagan. Right, this is going to be the best seats that we've had in going to an LSU baseball game. We're going to be right on top of the home dugout. Do we know if they're batting first or last in this game?
I don't know yet. I don't personally know yet. Maybe somebody in the comments does, but I'm not sure yet.
Okay, Reagan. Well, I'm going to let you go so you can wrap up the show.
Absolutely. Sounds good. Y'all have fun. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all joining in this impromptu, very informal show. Zach and them are heading in. So I'm going to wrap things up here. Appreciate all you guys hopping in here. Robert saying happy early birthday to Dad. LSU baseball fan. I don't know if we've seen you in here before. Hello. How are you, man? Ryan says once they get past Smith, I believe the bats will take over for LSU. Here's to hoping that is true. Here's to hoping the bats take over while Hagen Smith is pitching. I think that would be even better. I mean, don't you think that'd be even better? I do. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all joining in. We'll catch you next time here in the Tigers Avenue. 5-Star Hero, take us out. Peace.